Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.
Durk has been arrested and charged with a murder-for-hire plot. The Chicago native, whose real name is Durk Banks, was arrested in Florida by the U.S. Marshals Service. The 32-year-old's arrest comes as 5 other people in Chicago were arrested in connection with the investigation. According to the complaint, Banks and his co-conspirators allegedly worked together to, quote, track, stalk, and attempt to murder a target at a Los Angeles gas station, firing at least 18 rounds into the person's vehicle.
They keep me down.
He's 32, a successful rapper, and a Grammy Award winner. Federal authorities say Lil Durk is also behind an alleged murder-for-hire plot.
Wow, guys. We have Lil Durk, who's been gone now for a year, is what it's looking like. And I'm starting to hear things kind of, come up into the media about him having something that was done wrong to him through the judicial system and the way, and it just, I want to get to the bottom of it today. OG Pyru, you there?
I'm right here.
OG, let me just be real with you, man. This is an ongoing case, and I don't want to get on here and act as if somebody's to get out we don't want to confuse the people, but we want to tell the truth about what's going on. And I know you was the guy I needed to talk to about it. Good morning.
Good morning. We're not dealing with the truth. We're dealing with the facts. The judicial system is not based on truth. It's based on facts.
Well, wait a minute. Lil Durk demands the judge and the prosecutors be taken off his case for hiding threats. That's what that's the headline that I'm seeing floating around the internet.
Okay. That's the facts.
That ain't the fact. Well, he's trying to get this done, but it ain't done yet.
Let me explain something to you, sir. Under the judicial system, in order for a attorney or somebody in your behalf, this is one of the biggest fights in California history, in the federal jurisdiction. This shows you what $1 billion attorney to bring the facts that Durk's attorneys found out through their investigation that there was a conspiracy with the judge, the prosecutor, and the investigators to weigh aside and cause threats that Durk had killers putting a contract on the judge. So when they found out about it, and they did not, this has been going on for the last couple of weeks, I guess. And when they found out about it and they presented it to the court had hid it and not said anything about it to the defense. So that means that if a judge is being threatened by a defendant, in all actuality, he should, what they call, recuse himself, get off the bench, and let another judge take this over. That could be impartial, because you as a judge should be impartial. Now, if you're prejudiced by something that's been threatening you or your family, you cannot weigh my case in a equal justice way. So Durk's attorneys filed a motion to California to recuse 35 federal judges, the prosecution team and the investigation team, and transfer this case to be heard to an impartial judge in Oregon. He picked Oregon.
OG, they all try to change things as it goes. Let me read this. A Complex News report. It said, Lil Durk, and this is just today, Lil Durk has requested that the judge and the prosecutor in the murder-for-hire trial case be recused because they didn't share important information about threats from his fan base. The rapper and his legal team has accused federal prosecutors of burying vital information, arguing that the government hid violent threats that were aimed to the courts and the lead prosecutors for months. According to Durk's lawyers, prosecutors hid for graphic voicemails that were left for Magistrate Judge Patrice Donahue on February 22nd, with a person of them threatening to kill the judge and to burn the world down if Durk was found guilty. The motion from the rappers team alleges that they didn't learn about the voicemail until October the 1st, even though the FBI initiated a full investigation shortly after it happened. Similarly, Durk's lawyer alleged that prosecutors kept quiet about a call on April 28th when another person threatened to murder the prosecutors, Lan Yanello, along with others who worked with the courthouse. Since there was a coordination between the court, FBI, and the U.S. Marshal Services due to the threats, Durk believes he was robbed of the ability to challenge the judge's neutrality. And it says the undermining every ruling that was issued while the threats were being kept a secret. Now, I want to say this. Of course, he's going to feel away anything right now. He don't feel comfortable in the court where he's at, evidently, and he's trying to move away from that. But even if he moves, he's still got an uphill battle to fight to get his freedom and to get his life back. This is not something that goes away easily. These are just plots to say, hey, let me try this, let me try that, to try to get myself in a situation where I feel better that I could win this case. But I just don't feel like this is going to happen, OG. I don't know if they're going to let him move it like that.
That's what you don't think.
I don't know if they're going to let him move it.
Like y'all, most people say this is chess, not checkers.
Yeah.
He's jumping some. He's doing a checker move right now, moving some stuff up off the board, bringing it to light. And that's what most things are not brought to light. Whether this was a ploy or whether it was a hoax, whatever it was, now they've changed from initially February saying that Lil Durk's killers has threatened the judge to now that his supporters, this is what the prosecution has gave a rebuttal to the motion that it shouldn't be because it was just some of his supporters calling the judge. Well, if it was that, it shouldn't have been that type of investigation. And it should be where that the court would be able to identify where this came from. It's not like Hanafi or something. These are basic. I mean, rappers don't have that big of an intelligent fan base. So what were we really trying to do? Was this a plot by the government, for the government?
Well, I know that he's he got himself in a pickle with this whole case. That's why I played the first. Wait a minute. Don't let me finish. I know that he was in a pickle when I played the first of this to show you this case here is not something to play with. Murder for hire plots. You know, this is something that this is a huge case. So they're trying to figure out a way to get their hands around winning this thing. It ain't gonna be easy, bro.
That's what you go. Everybody didn't have some dump truck attorneys like Puffy that just sent me $1 million to send me to prison.
Leave Puffy out of it. Puffy will be home soon. He gonna get pardoned.
The whole idea of this, he has a legal team that's fighting tooth and nail for his freedom, just like Wyman Nelly.
Diddy had a legal team fighting for his freedom too. Now they might not have did what you thought they should have done, but they're fighting and they have been fighting ever since now. And they beat the RICO. So I don't know what you keep bringing that up for.
They never have a RICO.
They tried to put a RICO on him.
You cannot have a criminal conspiracy.
They tried to.
Watching and masturbating is not a RICO card.
I knew that all the time. But let's get back to Durk. It says right here in Complex News, shout out to them guys. The integrity of the criminal prosecution depends on the transparency and impartiality. Here both were federally compromised, read the motion, alleging the silence is a direct violation of Durk's right to due process because these strike at the core of due process and constitutional guarantee of receiving fair hearings in front of an impartial decision-making. Dismissal is the only adequate remedy. Durk's attorney, who says that the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California acts as victims, investigators, and prosecutors at the same time, want the indictment against him to be dismissed, or for the case to be assigned to the judge who's outside of the district based on the grounds that the fairness of the case has been compromised. In October, the government requested for an anonymous jury based on the voicemails. Defendants' supporters have already attempted to intimidate individuals connected to the case. The request reads, Durk, real name Durk Devontae Banks, is awaiting trial on murder for hire charges in connection with the fatal shooting of Savaria Robinson's rapper Quando Rondo's cousin in August 2022. And I read that so you could understand the severity of what's going on here, OG. There ain't no just moving away.
Excuse me, Einstein. We knew it was severe when they took him from Chicago and brought him
to California. I agree with that.
You're not trying to wake up people that's already woke, bro. So you say that. Old man used to say, why do you bring the wicked shit to the
strongest people? I get it.
You come up here because you pseudo intelligence. You try to bring these things up. We knew this case was a difficult case when they brought it.
So just trying to move it to wherever, you still got to fight it wherever you take it to, and there's a good chance you better.
Abernathy, we knew that. We ain't trying to prey on that, but we got good white folks, good white attorneys that read the law books and know that. I told you before, it ain't about the truth. It's about the facts. And the facts that you knew this and you didn't share with me, it violates his 6th and his 8th Amendment rights.
Okay, you moving from LA, you moving to Oregon. What does that do?
It's a move. It don't do nothing.
Don't do nothing. It's still the same thing.
But it do a lot because Oregon don't have the same thing invested as California. So now, when I was in Texas, Richard Cobb moved me to a judge that he knew. No, we ain't going to that judge. We going to Judge Garino. Judge Garino feels what he feels. We golf together. Back in them days, these are the kind of things. Look, this is what we're going to do. Go to California, sit right there. You got this money, give me this money. When you come back, case dismissed. It's those type of associations that attorneys used to have with judges. And that's what people did. It's just like what you dealing with associations and different. You don't mess with everybody. Everybody just can't come on your show.
Yeah, you got a point there, but
every time you say "but," that means you're not even clear.
No, but you gotta let's be clear. Let's be clear on this one thing. You moved to Oregon. Are you in Texas? Are you in LA? Are you in Atlanta? Are you in wherever you take this case to? The way that it's pretty much playing out, they got to fight ahead of them, man.
Let me say this. If I had a case in California, the case that I had in Oregon, I would have went to the penitentiary.
So you saying you think this is going to pretty much change the whole dynamic of the case, moving it to Oregon? Moving it to Oregon, well, I asked you, what does that do? You was like, oh, yeah, moving it to Oregon. That's a move. That's a move.
Oregon is a state that's more...
More what?
More liberal to what facts are. They ain't got a dog in the fight. They didn't. The boy didn't get killed in Oregon. He got killed in California. They don't have the same type. Their judges don't have the same kind of riffraff that we have. Y'all got in Texas. You don't hear about murder for hire every day in Oregon. So they have a different take. So if you get a attorney up there, that man, I went to court up there on TV. They let me out, and I didn't have to come back. Like, okay, just call us. We'll do. That would have never happened in Cali.
Well, Lil Durk has got to fight for his life, and OG, he's got a fight, and it's an uphill battle in Oregon. It's an uphill battle in LA. It's an uphill battle in Chicago. It's just an uphill battle with the way that they're saying credit cards was used. Allegedly, there's all this information they got out here. I don't know what they're going to do. I've been watching to see what's going to break loose that shows him as being, not implemented the way they're doing, not indicating he's the lead top guy. None of this. Who talk? They had people talking. What we got to understand is, how will he beat this case? There's a lot of people been going to trial, been going to court, and only one I seen to walk out of there was Govan, without probation or anything.
That's what Govan did. Well, they lied on Govan. Everything that they said about him, he was just he just sold pills.
Well, I want to see what happens with this, because
I tell you this: when Durk's attorneys, if they're as bad as Steele was with Young Thug, and the only reason Steele did not beat that case is because Thug snitched on his and he didn't want it brought out in court, and they end up bringing it out anyway. But the way Steele fought for him and his court case, if young Durk, Lil Durk, have anything, those kind of attorneys. But when you get an attorney that can file paperwork like that impacts a whole court system, man, that's unheard of. They ain't done that stuff since Clarence Darrow, bro.
But we'll be watching, man, guys, and make sure you guys keep watching. And if you're still watching, make sure that you watch everything that Boss Talk 101 is putting out. We're definitely trying to break the mold when it comes down to it, man. And we're definitely supporting everybody. Guys, make sure you get the OG Are You There hoodies. We're working to get them online so you can have them for the holidays. So, guys, make sure you pay attention to our app, download the app, and also, guys, on YouTube. If you want to click the button on YouTube, we're going to have it set up there too eventually. Working on it, should be there sometime this week for the holidays. Let's see what we can do, man. Support the movement, man. Boss Talk 101, if you're still watching, Lil Boosie went off on Diddy. And yeah, we talked about that earlier. Boss Talk 101 review.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk TV. Shout out to E. He the reason you see me.